It's your boy, Merlin the Magnificent, back with another Merlynsaidit. But we're going to be talking about Final Destination Bloodlines. Not the bloodline from the WWE, but the bloodline in Final Destination. So, let's kick back. Let's assess. Let's really get to the crux of what's going on here, man. So, you know, like I know, if you've been watching Final Destination for a long time, that it's death on the way, and death is around the corner. But death came a little differently this time. We got generational death type shit. Just need to make sure this shit is still recording. So I'm gonna try to breeze through this as fast as I can while also still giving you good content. Let's go. Let's start. The movie starts with a woman named Iris Campbell in the late 1960s with her husband, or her soon-to-be husband, when they take a trip to the Seattle Tower. Now, you already know where this shit is about to go. So Iris, she gets a premonition of what's about to go down, sees the whole tower fall down, blood and fire and blood if you're a Game of Thrones fan type shit. But it all came down, it all came crashing down, and she saw it in a vision, she saw it in a premonition. Now, she saved everybody that day. No one died that day. But in typical Final Destination fashion, they eventually died. So, apparently the movie picks up in present day, our time, with Iris's granddaughter, Stephanie, but I call her Heffany. So, Stephanie Heffany gets a vision of Iris's vision, kind of on some like clairvoyance type shit. So, she gets a vision of Iris's vision from like way back in the 60s, and she's like, why am I getting this vision? I need to talk to my family about Grandma Iris, even though Grandma Iris is kind of like the dark horse now, and we don't really talk about her, or the black sheep rather. So she goes to her family. Her family is basically telling her, yeah, keep that Iris shit over there. We don't really talk about Iris for good reason. She's crazy, she's manic, she's not in her right mind, she lost her mind a long time ago, all of that good jazz. But she persists, and she eventually gets the address to where Grandma stays. So she goes, she pulls up on Gam Gam. Gam Gam basically gives her the game on what's going on. She's like, hey, look, I saved a lot of people back in the day. And due to me saving them, I kind of killed them indirectly as well. Because after they survive at the tower, they go on to die these weird, strange, brutal deaths in typical Final Destination fashion. And not only does it pass on to them, this shit called Bloodlines for a reason, this is generational. So these people who were supposed to die that day went on to have kids, families, all of that. And all of them, just like Iris's family right now, is finna get clapped by death in a matter of time. Iris pretty much lets her know that, yeah, death is coming. Stephanie doesn't believe her. So what does Iris do? Iris is basically death-proofed her house, and her spatial awareness is like 100 out of 10. She tells her seeing is believing. She steps out and she allows death to clap her, so that way her granddaughter knows, yeah, this is real. I'm not capping to you. I got cancer. What I gotta lie about? So she lets her know what it is. She gives her the game, and she tells her, yo, take all of my news clippings, take all of my information, take this and explain it to these niggas. So that way they know that this is happening and this is coming for them. They don't believe her because they're like, Iris is crazy, you're crazy, we're dealing with grief, we don't want to talk about this, yaze squaze. And then the next person to die is her uncle. It's her uncle type shit. Her uncle gets clapped by death, you know, because he wasn't supposed to be born apparently. Yeah, her uncle gets clapped by death. And and basically she's like, trying to explain this to everybody, but everybody's in mourning right now. They don't want to really hear that. So her cousins, the son of her uncle, they're basically, they're like, yeah, you need to take all this weird shit out of here. We don't like you like that. We don't mess with you like that. Like, you need to stay over where you're at with all of this, right? But because they don't believe her, we know it's about to happen. So I'm not gonna go through every death that happens. I know I'm spoiling this already, but this ain't one of those type of movies. Basically, bro, the deaths happen in typical Final Destination fashion. The effects have gotten way better over the years, and the cinematography looks good. And fast forward, they go to talk to somebody who could help them out with this. That person being JB. Who's JB? My boy Tony Todd, aka John Bloodworth. John Bloodworth, who's apparently the little black boy that Iris saved years ago at the tower. Crazy lore, right? So, she saved this nigga. She saves this little nigga, yeah? And then pretty much, he grows up and he basically lets them know, Bloodworth, he lets them know, look, I'm out the game, man. She dead. I'm about to be dead soon. I got cancer. And I feel like that joke was a little meta. Not meta, but, well, not a joke, rather. It was a little meta or kind of on the nose since Tony Todd did pass away from cancer, like, last November. God rest the man's soul. Yeah. So basically he's like, yeah, I'm getting out of the game. This is kind of a you thing. If I were you, I'd just enjoy the time I have left type shit. So they take that information and they're like, we're not going to do that. Because two more of Stephanie's cousins, her guy cousins, they're like, nah, okay, so I'm going to make this guy flatline. And then with him he tries to make his brother flatline, one of the brothers, Eric. Eric tries to make his younger brother flatline with a peanut allergy so that way he can revive him with his EpiPen, right? Simple enough. But these niggas get trapped in the MRI room. I work in a hospital. The moment I saw the MRI room and I saw that thing cut on, I said, nigga, what's about to happen? And we saw very quickly what happened, bro. I can't really describe how it happened. Just know that an MRI machine was involved and you could put the pieces together when you watch the film. Yeah, that happened, right? And now, in addition to that happening, so the last remaining three, which is Stephanie, her brother, I forgot his name, maybe it's Jacob or some shit, and her mom, right? It's those three left. The mom and the kids, or Stephanie and her mom and her brother, are like, okay, let's go out to Grandma Iris's cabin because she basically death-proofed everything, right? That's not how that happens. When they get there, the cabin blows up. The mom is still alive. She's like, oh, I'm going to try to be alive for as long as I can. Then gets killed. Crazy works. Why y'all do her like that? Crazy as fuck. But that happens. And then on top of that happening, Stephanie's almost drowning. Her little brother comes and tries to save her. At the time, they both thought that she flatlined and he brought her back. It gets confirmed a couple of months after this event that, well, you didn't really die, you know? You were just unconscious and he woke you up. Yeah, that happened. And basically now that they get that knowledge, Death is coming for that ass, right? Death was not finished. And how does Death come for that ass? Well, Death sends for that ass via train. Does the train hit them? No, but it veers off into their neighborhood and it runs down their entire street elaborately as fuck. And pretty much they get away, Stephanie and her little brother, just to not get away and eventually be crushed by two logs. Crazy as fuck. Now me, I love Final Destination movies. This movie I'll give a 9 out of 10. And I don't usually do that for me. But I did it for this. I did it for this one. Sorry. I did it for this one. So I gave them a 9 out of 10 because it was a good movie. I did like the characters. I liked the dialogue. And I did like the message that William Bloodworth, Tony Todd, he gave, where it's like, enjoy, the time that you have and be with your family and love your life. I've been watching Final Destination for like a long time. I think the first one I ever seen was 3 when I was like a kid, like 7, 8 type shit. And then I went back, watched the first 2, and then I seen 4, then I seen 5, right? So I like Final Destination. It's a great franchise, but I could see that this is a movie type that could become formulaic over time because you already know like what's gonna happen. You don't know how, but you already know what is coming, right? So that happens, and then I personally believe that they should take their time before they make another Final Destination movie because this one was really good, and I think that you gotta let these movies breathe. can't make one after another, after another, after another. It becomes it starts to lose its novelty after a while. And we want these movies to be novel so that way people get into the theaters. Right, producers, execs, right, Hollywood? So, don't make another Final Destination for a while. Not for a long fucking time, bro. Not for a long time. Don't make that shit for a long time, bro. Don't make that shit for a long time. Make the next one maybe in the next 3 years. It took them 2 months to make this one, reasonably so. It was a great movie. I enjoyed it, and I think you guys will too. You know what I mean? This is a spoiler video, whatever. So, that happens, man. Great movie, great characters, great cast. And yeah, man, that's really all I gotta say. Other than that, while we are on the topic of life and death, you know, I hope you appreciate every day that God has blessed you, and I hope you appreciate the people around you and that you love and respect those around you. You know what I mean? And one day your time will come, so enjoy your life. But I hope your time comes way, way, way later on. I hope you live for another 100 years. I love you. It's your boy Merlin. We out. Merlynsaidit.